Am I the poop hole for calling my sister an idiot for what she wants to name her kid?
Okay, so just a little context because this topic is incredibly touchy for me. I'm a man who was given a woman's name at birth. A good example is naming your son Alice. It's not what my name was, but it's close. My parents are hippies and they decided to give their oldest son a girl's name to stick it to the man, and I'll never forgive them for it. That name caused me to be bullied and damaged my professional life in ways that you cannot even imagine. My sister is pregnant with her first child, a girl. She and her husband are so excited, but it just sucks that she inherited my parents' stupid ideology, which is to see their children as fashion statements. Last night, she revealed to the family the name of her daughter. She wants to name her daughter Crystal, spelled Krxstxl. Okay, wait, that makes literally no sense. I've never really liked that name, and I wasn't surprised when I found out that my mom helped pick it out. When she told me, I told her that that was a terrible idea. If she wants to name her Crystal, then just name her Crystal. She tried to explain to me why the X's are there, and I just told her that it doesn't matter. She's naming a human, not a dog. I don't care what kind of fashion statement she's trying to make. This is a person's name that they're gonna have to live with for the rest of their life unless they change it. She and my mom brushed it off and said that I was only complaining because I never was able to accept my own name. I told my sister that she has to be either selfish, stupid, or a strong combination of the two if she thinks that her daughter will want a stupid name like that. I mean, who spells Crystal with 2 X's? An argument ensued, and I told her that her and her husband are crappy parents for using their daughter's name to make a statement. Then I left right after. My sister isn't taking it well at all, and my mom is furious with me. I'm starting to wonder if I was too harsh. I will not change my opinion on that incredibly stupid name, but now I'm wondering if branding her as a crappy parent was too far. So, am I the a-hole?
Okay, so this has to be a joke, right? Because like, who uses X's to spell Crystal? I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it.
So looking through all of the comments, everybody is saying that OP is not the a-hole because that's such a crappy name.
And I do agree that the name literally makes no sense. But I guess I have an unpopular opinion on this one because I do think that OP is the a-hole. Well, at least one of them. Technically, to me, everyone sucks in this story. Like, I don't think OP is the biggest a-hole in the world, but you can't just call somebody a crappy parent for a name choice. At least not to their face. I'm kidding. But the name isn't that bad. I mean, it doesn't make any sense, but come on. They might still be good parents. So I give OP an a-hole rating of 4 out of 10, and the mom and the sister get a 7 out of 10 for me because they sound really annoying. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Am I wrong for asking my daughter why she can't be more like her siblings? Honestly, I don't even have to read this story to know that the answer is yes. But you know I gotta read the story to find out for sure, so here we go. I, 48 male, have 4 children. Lewis, 24 male, Angela, 22 female, Adam, 18 male, and Madison, 15 female. I love all 4 of my children equally and would do anything for them. However, my youngest, Madison, is quite a troublemaker and it's quite a task to parent her most times. All of my children, excluding Madison, have always had hobbies and have done something with their lives. We have a whole cabinet full of awards won throughout the years, while Madison, she doesn't even have any awards, and mostly she just has certificates for volunteering rather than actually winning something. However, this hasn't stopped me and my wife from loving her. The fact that he even had to mention that just doesn't feel right to me. So far, he's seeming like the a-hole to me. My 3 eldest are academically skilled, whereas my youngest isn't. Madison is privately tutored by a retired teacher, and usually she's engaged in these lessons. My wife thinks this may be because Madison's aware of how much we pay the tutor rather than actually loving to learn. Anyway, Madison's math scores for the term came back and she did horribly. Out of the 30 kids in her class, she ranked 29th. When I asked Madison about these scores, I tried my best to stay calm and not let my anger show. I explained to Madison that her scores were horrible and that she should be ashamed of herself. She should be embarrassed that we spent all of this money on her tutoring and she's still failing. Okay, this guy is definitely a tool. Like, most definitely. She told me that I should be glad that she was 29th and not 30th. This pissed me off. I was trying to have a serious conversation about her and she made a joke. Now, I didn't yell or scream at her, but I just sighed and asked her why she couldn't be more like her siblings. They were all able to achieve much higher grades without tutoring. When I said that, she seemed to get upset and began crying. Then she tried to claim that she felt insecure because all of her older siblings had achievements that were on display and that she had barely nothing. I told her that there was a reason why, and that seemed to upset her even more. She quickly ran up to her room despite my protests and locked herself in there. When my wife came home, Madison had a chance to talk to her before I did, and she literally lied to her and had her believe the story that she came up with. My wife sat me down later and told me that I was too harsh. She told me that I need to start putting up Madison's achievements. So this morning, I decided to put up Madison's failed test up in front of the cabinet for all eyes to see. My wife wasn't amused and called me a man-child, and my eldest daughter said that I effed up. So am I wrong? This one was very easy for me to answer, and I think you guys already know what my opinion is. Let me know in the comments what you think. Am I wrong for having a dry wedding and serving only water for drinks? Only water though? That seems a bit extra. There better be a good excuse for this. Okay, so basically my husband and I are getting married later this year. Each of our sides of the family are fairly big, and there will be about 100 to 150 people total at the wedding. My husband and I are paying for this wedding all on our own, as well as my grandma, who said that she doesn't care one way or another. She's just happy to help and she loves weddings. We have a lot of kids in our family, so we decided against making it child-free, but we decided to make it dry. So there will be no alcohol of any kind at our wedding. Sounds lame. I'm joking. It's your wedding. Do whatever you want. Anyways, okay, let me keep reading. Honestly, this doesn't have anything to do with there being kids, but due to the fact that my fiance and I don't drink. Nothing against people who do, it's just not for us and we don't want to. On top of that, we only really drink water. We very rarely, if ever, drink soda, so most of the time it's only water with the occasional juice and milk. We don't even drink coffee. So obviously the food, which is the part that my grandma isn't paying for, is going to be expensive for that many people. We're having our wedding catered, so everyone will have a good choice of food to choose from, but there'll only be water to drink. We don't want to have to pay for alcohol or soda. It's honestly just a lot larger of a cost when we can do filter water for a much cheaper cost. Well, when family and friends found out, they got angry. Some didn't really care, but some are really upset about it. They say that we can just have an open bar so that we don't have to pay for drinks. I mean, sure we could do that, but we would still have to pay for the bartender, and we really just don't want to bother with alcohol there. Others say we should at least have soda because how can we expect everyone to only drink water? They say the kids will be upset, the wedding will be boring, and that this is not how weddings work. So am I wrong? I didn't think that this would be a problem. It's only water. I mean, don't most people drink water every day anyways? Should we pay extra to have soda to make the family happy? So this one is hard because sure, it's your wedding and you can't really go wrong. You know, you do you, it's your wedding. But like, seriously, only water? I think that's too far. What do you guys think? Am I the asshole for choosing my dog over my family by refusing to accommodate for my girlfriend's brother? I, 23 male, lived with my girlfriend Ann, 22 female, and my dog Bo. Recently, Ann's brother Al, 25 male, got laid off from work and couldn't afford to pay rent anymore. Ann asked if Al could stay with us, and I didn't see why not. Ann isn't really on speaking term with her parents, so I assumed that Al isn't either, so he probably didn't have another place to go. Plus, I really loved Ann, and I wanted to show her how important she was to me. Here's the issue. Ann told me Al had a mild dog allergy. When I initially spoke with both of them, I said that I would do my best to accommodate, but would not under any circumstances get rid of Bo. Both understood, and Al said his allergy wasn't that bad. Al moved in, and to be honest, he really wasn't a great roommate. He didn't seem to be in a hurry to move out, as he spent most of his time playing video games and sleeping, instead of looking for work. He didn't pitch in for chores, and he let laundry pile up in his room. Then acted confused when I told him that he had to do his own laundry. He ate the food we cooked, but didn't help with cooking or buying groceries. Worst, he ordered lots of fast food for himself and left the wrappers, bags, old food in his room. It made the whole apartment smell. After a month or so, Al said his allergies were getting worse and asked me to consider putting Bo in a shelter. I said absolutely not, but Ann said we should consider getting rid of Bo to accommodate her brother's needs. I said no and that we would not be discussing this any further. She called me an a-hole for choosing my dog over my family. That's when I snapped. I said that Al is not family and that he has been nothing but a hassle for the past month. Then I told her that if she wants to babysit her older brother, she can find her own place. She tried again to convince me that I should prioritize Al over Bo, so I gave her the ultimatum. Either Al is gone in 24 hours or I kick both of them out. Bo stays no matter what. Both of them have since moved out, and while Ann and I are not officially broken up, I haven't heard from her in a few days. I know this may sound harsh, but Beau is my family. He's been with me through some of the hardest times in my life, and he's a rescue, which means he's already been abandoned once, and I will not let it happen again. I feel nothing for Al, and while I thought I loved Ann, her willingness to get rid of someone that I loved as much as her really made my feelings change. When I explained this to my parents and my sister, however, they said that I should have at least considered getting rid of Beau to accommodate Al. They said that they even could have taken care of Beau themselves so he didn't have to go to the shelter. My mom said that if I saw Ann as family, which I did at this point, I should be willing to make sacrifices. But that was a sacrifice that I wasn't willing to make. So does that make me the bad guy? Am I the a-hole for leaving my in-laws' Christmas dinner because they didn't make accommodations for me? I got invited to my fiance's family Christmas celebratory dinner. It's my first Christmas with them. I've always been picky about what I eat. Can't help it, and it has to do with psychological factors, childhood, and personal likes and dislikes. Before accepting their invite, I let my future mother-in-law know that I wouldn't be eating the traditional food at their celebration. Then I showed her a variety of dishes to choose from to accommodate me. She refused and told me to bring my own dish. I said if I have to bring my own dish when I'm a guest, then I better just stay home. We went back and forth, and I insisted I wouldn't come if accommodations weren't being made. I just thought it was a simple request, and future mother-in-law couldn't agree if she really even wanted me there. My fiance agreed that I should bring my own dish, but I refused. When we arrived there and saw that there was no accommodations made for me, I got up, got my things, and walked out of the house and went home. My future mother-in-law and fiance were completely shocked. I got tons of calls and texts from them both, and my fiance came home yelling at me, calling me selfish, spoiled, and then he said that I was crazy to walk out over a dish that my mom didn't have for me. He said I'm a grown woman and that it's my responsibility to feed myself. I just don't get how it's my responsibility to feed myself when I'm a guest. It makes no sense to me. I told him this, and he accused me of starting crap and ruining his family's Christmas. He said I screwed up my first Christmas with his family and disrespected his mother. Now he's continually saying that I screwed up and should have just sucked it up for the family's sake.